run by the mega elite. They want to shut down all their competition. And you notice everything we warn you about keeps happening because we've got all their documents. That's what's so frustrating about this. Charlotte, we're getting into a key point there as we went to break. Please continue.
Well, I don't know where I was on that one, Alex, but all I can say is, because we don't have much time left, I want, first of all, the reason for the book is that I felt it had to come out at this time. I think that book is really very, very important. There are many books out there, but this gives you not just education history, but the history of the insiders for the beginning of the last century, or even going back into the 1800s. It's the Federal Reserve. It's everything else, too, that's in there. What happened? Disarmament, blah, 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 go on. Ronald Reagan signing the agreements with the Soviet Union, and the Carnegie Corporation role in agreements with the Soviet Academy of Science. All of these things, and again, I will say the conservatives got to understand this. I hate to say it, but you have not been informed of these things because the conservatives, let's call them neoconservatives, not Goldwater people, they have been infiltrated, the Republican Party badly infiltrated by the left. So you've got both parties are left and are, you can call them either socialist or Marxist or fascist. Doesn't make any difference. Both parties are controlled, and that's why we haven't been able to get this information out. What I want you to do is don't get discouraged. You've got to keep fighting. And the reason I say this is there have been many, many people, and I gave a lot of credit to these people in the beginning of my book. I've known them. Some are dead, etc. They, the insiders, expected to bring us down, certainly in the 80s. The 1976 200th anniversary, we were meant to be basically going down. We didn't. We're still here. If those people had given up, the ones that you and I know, and a lot of us oldsters know, they're gone now, magnificent Americans who fought for freedom, for the Constitutional. If they had given up, I wouldn't even be on this program today. And Alice wouldn't have a show. So you cannot give up. You have to keep fighting this battle. And the tool to fight it, I think, because of course I love my own book, is my little book. And it's smaller. You can't complain anymore about it being, you can't take it on vacation. It weighs too much. Now, the other thing I want to say is there's only one person out there that we can vote for the Republican Party. There's only one person. Absolutely, there's no question about it, and it's Ron Paul. It is ridiculous what's going on now. It's evil what's going on right now. They're doing to him what they did to Goldwater back in the 60s when they had that film of the little girl in the field with the poppies and the bomb going off. They're going to do that to him, too. Yeah, they're saying we'll get nuked if you elect Ron Paul. Same thing LBJ did. Right. So, look, folks, we've got good stuff out there now. We've got Ron Paul. I'm going to keep fighting. Alex is great. He's going to keep fighting. Well, Charlotte, as you know, 20, 30, 40 years ago, almost nobody knew about this stuff because it was so incredible. You mean their tyrants want to slowly take over? Now it's all coming to fruition. Yeah. The crop is coming in. We told folks what those plants were going to grow. Before I was born, you were warning people. That's right. And then now we see, this is tyranny they're setting up. I've never seen such an awakening happening. Now, some are awakening. That's happening faster. But others are getting deeper into the trance, and you cannot reach them because they've been so damaged by the brainwashing, by the chemicals. But it's never a majority that turns things around. It's an evil minority or a good minority that are going to decide the destiny of the human species, and our minority is swelling. We are much bigger than the criminals. The young people are so important. Let me say to you, don't waste time on people my age, really, because they are so pathetic with their golf clubs, their retirement. They are pathetic. I'm sorry to say it. Maybe there are a few out there who aren't, but don't waste your time on them. Put your time into the young people getting out of high school and college. Get in there, just like Ron Paul said. There's this huge awakening among young people. And you know what? The schools may have done a good job, like I pointed out earlier, with 80% or whatever of those college students. But I don't believe it's all that bad. I think that the young people really are beginning to understand that they have been had. And so focus. Well, they create a fake consensus with all these fake polls. It's even, quote, mainstream news that there was fraud all over Iowa, just as we said 2-3 days ago. Yeah.
I mean, it's just that it's so brazen, Charlotte.
Yes, it is, and I think that's why I think the young people know this. And the other thing is, Ron Paul really is the anti-war candidate. And if he was smart, that's what he would run on, even though he's anti-Federal Reserve, and he'd love to get rid of the Department of Education. He's the only one who's really mentioned that, isn't he? His platform is superb, and they say it's kooky. Oh, wait a minute. Look, I always love it when people call me a kook. You know why? And I tell them, thank you. Because the greatest Americans and people in the Soviet Union, etc., Solzhenitsyn, all these people who cherished freedom were called kooks at the time. And so if someone calls you a kook, thank them. And say, you know, you put me in really good company. I'm in with Solzhenitsyn, I'm in with all these great people who fought for freedom.
Well, as you know, Charlotte, a doodle dandy was the biggest insult the British could give each other. And I don't want to tell people what it means, but it's a slang. Yeah. But you know what? We said, good, we're going to have a song called Yankee Doodle Dandy.
That's very interesting. Good for you, Alex. I didn't know that. But, you know, the thing is that that is Brock Chisholm. That's all those guys, Alger Hiss and all, in 1945 at the UN who said they're going to use psychiatry, you know, to get rid of our conscience. These are the people who said we're crazy, see? We're crazy because we think. And because we know that war is wrong, but we know that sometimes you have to take a stand. But they don't want us.
No. They teach us to not be warlike so they can wage war on us. They say, truce.
That's exactly what we are. Our military is nothing but the United Nations military arm. To parole the whole world has nothing to do with protecting the United States.
And the good part for the globalist is, when they do all this imperial evil and the massacres, their own globalist media tells the world about it and then blames America, and then we're domestically told it's great and everybody loves us for the future destruction of this country politically. I mean, the globalists are such masters that they have America doing all their dirty work. I mean, Rupert Murdoch's publications will badmouth the war and stuff overseas, but then domestically he's all for it. And again, they know exactly what they're doing. They don't play by any rules. The book is available at Infowars.com. with deliberate dumbing down of America, a new edition, a smaller edition. It's been out of print for a year, available at Infowars.com. And Charlotte, thank you for putting the book back out. I know the big, thick one is free on your website, and give folks that address as well for people that can't afford the softcover.
Okay, it's deliberatedumbingdown.com. And you can just go there and you can read it on the internet. It's a big book to read on the internet, but please, that's why it's there. And AmericanDeception.com is also a free website for all the documents to back up.
And let's be clear, when you send a friend or family or teacher the email with the link, people don't tend to appreciate something that's free. It's like, here's all this work, it's free, please warn people, here's the total blueprint of the enemy operation in education. This is what, you say the schools, you know, George Carlin said they want you dumb. Well, here's the proof. Yeah, George Carlin's right. Here's their own criminal blueprint, all put together for you, all sourced. And tell people, you better look at this. But most people will still appreciate a book. So if you do buy the book, it's like, here, I read it, here it is, school teacher. I've got the most important parts highlighted, or to your school board or whatever, because most of these people are not evil operatives. They have grown up multi-generationally in this, and now it's getting so deep. Charlotte, look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Well, thanks a lot, Alex, and keep up your good work, and Happy New Year to all your listeners.
Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Bye-bye.
All right, there goes Charlotte Thompson Iserbyt, the book, Deliberate Dumbing Down of America, available at Infowars.com, or by calling 888-253-3139 here at our office. You can also write to us at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas, 78760. We also have the Everything Special. We're calling it the New Year Special. I've never had a deal this good, but we're going to keep it running for the rest of the month because it's getting the word out. All 18 of my films on DVD for $99.95. All of them. Obama Deception, Fall of the Republic, Endgame, Terror Storm. $99.95 right now. Normally 360 smackers. And your funding of this operation allows us to continue and hopefully expand. And we're really working hard here, as you know, because we understand this information is too important. I mean, you know, I separated some ribs, cracked some stuff, dropping a big weight on myself last weekend like an idiot. do an incline weight. It slipped out of my hands. I was going too fast. And it came out. And most people would be in bed right now. And I'm not whining about it. I'm not doing some great service being here. Wild horses cannot drag me away. I mean, I want to do productions. I want to make films. I want to get the word out. I want to warn people. I want to stop these people. Because it's so frustrating to know these are wanton evil criminals that use psychological warfare and false reality systems that they've taught people to get a lot of good men and women out there to not even ever become conscious human beings and to be mind slaves to these globalists and carry out all this evil. I don't even hate their minions anymore. I used to really get mad at minions of the system, and now I'm just like, man, it's frustrating. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I live this stuff. I read documents till I'm blue in the face. I understand how the system works. I understand that most people are not bad. And I understand this a lot more than even some of their high-level people, because they're all compartmentalized just doing their sector. They're trained to do it, they do it. And I've gotten to the level of a master architect understanding of the overall integrated systems of how they run this thing. And let me tell you, it doesn't look like it's human-built. I'm not into space aliens, reptoids, any of that. I'm just saying it's hard to believe that humans would actually consciously be trying to set this up, because they're trying to screw up the planet. They're trying to splice every animal and every plant and creating abominations that are already causing irrevocable problems. They've already got a lot of the key species dying out, honeybees and things like that. It's other top scientists I've had on. It's like, they say it's like it's space aliens that want to destroy the Earth or something. And then they know that we're concerned about this, so they take over the environmental movement and make it an anti-human, anti-carbon dioxide movement. They are such masters at knowing how you're going to think and what you're going to do and creating false systems to capture your energy, to capture your resistance. It's just unbelievable. And they love hurting good things. They love defacing good things. They love screwing things up. All right, I'm going to start preaching here. It's the devil, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how else to explain it to you, but when you get right down to hardcore 18-hour-a-day research, you run smack dab up against it. The leadership are devil worshippers, Lucifer worshippers. They think Lucifer's God, and they're just sick freaks. They are super smart, sick freaks, and it's skull and bones. They think they're guided by the devil, and they worship the devil, and ABC News captured it on tape. I mean, it's like, what in the world are we facing here? And they've got all these well-meaning people that will go and shoot Iraqi women for almost no reason and call them subhuman and think they're good guys. That is mind control. And it's all Skinner. It's all Edward Bernays. Oh, if you just read propaganda by Bernays. If you just know what I know, if you just read the Public Club of Rome documents, if you just read the Rockefeller Foundation documents we linked to, where they put stuff in the vaccines and the food and the water to give us cancer, I mean, it's really uncool. You know, this is not about entertainment. It's not about a joke, people. It's not about, ooh, I'm a radio host and I'm up here talking to you about this stuff. This is life and death. It starts with all of us, though. Evil couldn't have gotten away with this if people by increment didn't give in to evil and corruption. I said I'd get through a bunch of news, and look at this financial news. Doctors going broke under Obamacare, but don't worry, they just now want to fully nationalize health care and take it over. That was always the plan. CNN. Top 1% of mobile users consume half of world's bandwidth, and the gap is growing. So they're saying to people, well, let us put more charges on you since other people are using too much. That's just a way to charge everybody more. There's articles out about how they're lying about how many jobs have really been created. We've got a big stack of news on that front. I already mentioned this, but it's big. DHS officers armed with semi-automatics set up unannounced ID checkpoints with submachine guns in Florida. I mean, you just can't make that up. Speaking of genetic engineering, I had a big stack of news on that, but let me get to that in a minute when I find it. Proposed DNA bank could ensnare New York graffiti artist, and it just goes through. England already does this in many cities. You get pulled over for speed, and they take your DNA out of the cheek. They can just swab it. They put it in the database, of course, to frame you. It's not the cop doing it doesn't know that, but it's mainly to frame you and get your. I mean, they take your blood at birth for 40 years worldwide. Everywhere it's under the global system. There's a few countries they're mopping up, and don't worry, they fly over there and spray stuff on them. They're not getting away with anything. They're going to be